If you've ever been homeless, then I want you to know that there is hope. There is a way out. Sometimes there isn't, sometimes there is, but if you have faith that you can get out of it, then there is some chance for you to live the life of your dreams. And I'm sharing my story because I want to give people hope that even in the worst of worst situations, if everything is all against you, there is hope that you can survive it and live a life of your dreams. So, um, carrying on from the previous story, my mum had left, and she left me and my dad in the house alone. My sister had already married and moved out. So me and my dad are there. I never got on with him very well anyway. And then one day he comes into the room, starts ranting at me, because at the time I just met this boy, um, and a couple of times he would come and stay at my house. And one day he was doing some laundry. My dad saw him using the washing machine, and he freaked out that there was someone in the house that was using his electricity and all this other stuff. And I was like, oh God, here we go. So he proceeded to accuse me of being a crack dealer, told me that he wished I was dead, and made me homeless. He's like, get out. I don't want anything to do with you anymore. He was very kind enough to let me borrow his van to move all my stuff. But yeah, I had to get out. That was it. Fuck off. Wish you were dead. Didn't speak to me again for over 10 years. So I said to my boyfriend at the time that I literally only met like a few weeks ago. We'd been seeing each other just a little bit, like a few times. It wasn't like a full-on relationship at that point. I was like, do you mind if I move in? Can I sleep in your house for a bit? Because his dad made him homeless, and he was lucky enough to be given a council flat in southwest London. So I was like, can I move in? He's like, yeah, move in. So my dad's company van cleared all my stuff out, moved in with my boyfriend, who literally only met like, I don't know, about 2 months ago. Not even that, maybe less. So I was completely alone again, well, apart from my boyfriend. But like my mum had gone, my sister had gone, my dad had abandoned me. So it was just me and my boyfriend. What am I doing? How am I going to make money? How am I going to live? What am I going to do? So I was like, this internet thing. This internet thing has got to be something in that I can use to make money. And then I had the idea of being a content creator. This wasn't a thing back then. Now we have YouTube. Now we're streaming 4K video. Back then, that didn't exist. It was still dial-up internet. I just started broadband. You could get like 128K internet, and they were just starting to release 256K internet. So it still wasn't enough for video, but you could watch photos in a better speed, because they used to load line by line. So video content creation didn't exist. So I invented it. I got a video camera, and people would contact me and ask me to make videos about whatever they wanted. And I would say, okay. They'd send me a story, and they say, can you make a video? And it was autistic people wanting videos of stimming. And I was like, this is cool. So they send me this video. They're like, I want you to make a video stimming. And stimming is basically just sensory stimulation of your body. It's what autistic people do, like the hand flapping, or it can be a verbal stims. You can make noises, or sometimes it's internal stims in your mind. You repeat words and phrases inside your head, or you can say those words and phrases out loud. It's leg tapping, it's finger twisting, hair twirling, chewing the inside of your cheek. There's lots of different ways that autistic people stim, and it's a regulatory way of controlling your nervous system. And I'd been doing this since I was a little kid, and I didn't realize, I didn't know what it was at the time. I didn't know it was stimming, and that it was because I was autistic that I was stimming. So these people would message me saying, can you make a video of these stimming activities? I was like, oh, no worries, no problemo. So I had a video camera, and I'd make a video. It wasn't sex or anything, it was just stimming. And back then, you had to sell it on a VHS tape. So I made these VHS tapes, and I've been posting them out to people. And I made a website showing what the services that I was offering to people, and I got loads more people buying these videos, and then more people would make requests, and more people would buy videos, and I'm at the end. I'm making videos all day. I had to record them one at a time. Because if it had an hour-long video, it took an hour to record it onto the VHS tape, and then you had to package it up and post it to someone. And eventually, we evolved technology to create these things called DVDs. Remember those? So now I was able to make videos onto a DVD, and they were much smaller and faster to make and easier to ship. So I started to ship VHS and DVDs, and I'd get more and more people asking me to make videos, and I'd make more and more videos. I'd do photography, I'd do videos, whatever people asked me to do. I didn't care what it was. I just made it. I didn't know what I was doing. Just say, okay, someone wants a video doing this, I'll make the video, I send it to them, and then hundreds of other people also bought these videos. I was making some serious money. I went from earning £3 an hour in a job to earning £10,000 a month sitting at home making video. Do you understand what a revelation that is to someone? That you can sit at home, make videos, and make tens of thousands of dollars doing something that's just fun. And nobody else in the world was doing this. I was one of the first ever content creators. So I didn't think anything of it until I got a knock on the door one day. And it's like, hi, this is blah, blah, blah from Trading Standards. We have information that you're producing videos and you're selling videos. I was like, yeah, and what's the problem? All videos sold in the UK have to be rated by the BBFC. I thought that only accounted for the cinema or in videos to sell in a shop. I'm not selling them in a shop. It's all online. And so you're not allowed to produce any video in the UK that's not rated by the BBFC. And I was like, okay. How do I get rated by the BBFC? Pay £20,000 per video for someone to review it and give you the rating of 12 PG or whatever their rating is for the video. So you pay £20,000 per video and get them rated. And I can't pay that much money. But at that point, I had made like 30 videos. So you're like £600,000 to get them rated. I'm like, no way. So, that's your whole business. Like, your whole business is making videos and selling them. And at that point, we didn't have internet fast enough to do online streaming. So I had to go a little bit of a pivot, a little bit of a swerve around the obstacle that is right in my face. And I managed to do an agreement with somebody who I would send bulk packs of DVDs to. I'd post him like 100, pack of 100 or whatever. And then when the order would come in, I would send the order to him. He would package it and send it, because it was the selling of the video that was illegal. And as I'm not selling it to anyone, I'm sending them to a friend. Then I kind of subverted the rule a little bit. So I was producing the videos, but then when I was selling them, I'd sell them via somebody else. So it kind of worked a little bit. And I'm making serious money, like more money than I'd ever seen in my life. And then I'm in a council flat in London, 25 now. And I was like, I don't want to be in a council flat all my life. Maybe I could buy a house. And this was 2005. So it's before the major crash. And that was the time where they just handed out a mortgage to anyone. You want a mortgage? Got a big enough deposit? Here, have a mortgage. So I had an accountant who would make my books look legit, that I had this income. I was a media producer. And people didn't ask too many questions in those days. They're like, okay, here's your proof of income. You got a deposit? Yeah, I have a mortgage. I have a mortgage, here you go. So they gave me like a £200,000 mortgage. I'm 25 years old, just literally making autistic videos. And so I bought my first house when I was 25. And then all hell breaks loose. All hell breaks loose. I bought this house, the cheapest house I could find. It was in a council estate in Kingston upon Thames. And it was full of people who are economically and mentally not quite right. There were so many people that were just vile, evil, nasty humans. It was disgusting. And accidentally, one day, they found out that I'm gay. And all hell breaks loose. They attack my house. They throw bricks at me. They move my cars. They vandalize my garden. Yeah, it was brutal. So I ended up having to sell that house, my first house that I bought with, this dream of from being homeless to finally owning my own house. And I had to leave because of a bunch of homophobic psychopaths literally lynching my house. I glued my letterbox shut at night in case they'd firebombed me. It was just, I went to the police. The police didn't give one single fuck. They didn't give a shit at all. They were like, oh, well, so what? We'll give you a panic alarm. Oh, great. This is going to help, isn't it? And when I called the police, it took them 45 minutes to answer 911, 999 in England, 911 in America. It's 999. So I call 999, 45 minutes waiting for them to even answer it. And then they find the answer. Is like, I need the police. I'm under siege at my house. There's literally 15 people outside throwing bricks at my house. Send someone. It took another 30, 40 minutes for the police to come. And obviously they'd have gone by then. So there was no evidence of anything happening. And the police just didn't care. They just like, so what? Like, nothing. Nobody was hurt. Nobody was hurt. What about the mental trauma of being under siege in your own house? The fear of not being able to walk outside without being attacked. So in the end, I had to sell the house and I moved to another town. And it's ridiculous. Everywhere I go, everywhere I've ever been, I can't be myself without being attacked. What the fuck? Why do you care so much if someone is gay? Why does it really bother you that much that you will attack them, make their life hell, and even physically attack them, or put them in hospital or even kill them just because they're different to you? What the fuck is wrong with you? Really? What the fuck? So I'd only had the house 8 months, and I'm already having to sell and move away because of the fucking violence of ignorant, stupid people. And it cost me £20,000 to move house in fees and taxes and all the other costs of moving. So I just immediately lose 20 grand, bang, gone, just because of these homophobic cunts. And so I'm now in my second house. Luckily, I was doing well in business and making loads of money, so I could afford a bigger house. So it was an upgrade, it was a much nicer house in a much nicer area, a lot more expensive. But because I'd already had a mortgage and sold the house for quite a big profit, it wasn't so bad. Like, the cost of moving was kind of taken up a little bit by the profit that I'd made on the house. So finally, I'm in another house. I'm a bit more stable again. But it's just like, this constant having to either hide who I am or risk violence from people is getting tired now. It's really getting tired. And I thought things would get better. I thought over time, now there's more people online. This is Pride Month. This is Pride Month. We got literally a whole month now where people can say I'm gay, and some people can actually do that without being violently attacked. But look at what's happening in the USA right now. All these anti-gay laws, anti-trans laws, all these laws, about autism being a disease that needs to be cured. I mean, there are people that have worse cases than me. I'm able to function quite well in society. Not really in society, but function well personally. I mean, I have a business, I have a house, I manage to look after myself without support. Other people are not in that lucky state. They need more support than I do, but that doesn't mean that they're diseased. It means that they're different to you, and just because someone's different doesn't mean that they don't have a right to exist. Who makes the rules on who's allowed to exist and not exist? Like, when did you decide that? When did you decide, okay, so if you're born in this body with these genes, you're not a valid human being? Then you're treated like shit your entire life. Why? Why do you care? Mind your own fucking business. How about that? How about you leave other people the fuck alone? So what if someone's wearing clothes you don't like? So what if someone has a hair color you don't like? So what if someone dresses in a way that you don't like? You know, oh, that man's wearing a dress. So what? The fuck does it matter? Why do you care? What does it matter? Who has sex with who? If you want to have sex with someone and you ask that person, would you like to have sex with me? And they say yes, you two have sex, you have fun, whatever happens after that is your business. I don't get involved in your sex life. I don't care who you have sex with. But when it comes to me, everyone's got an opinion on whether I'm allowed to have a relationship with someone that I like or not. Fuck off. Mostly this comes from religious people. My book says this. I don't care. Fucking give one single fuck what your book says. It's irrelevant. I don't follow your religion. Therefore, your religion is irrelevant to me.